Hello everyone, hope you're having an excellent day today. I'm doing pretty great. In this video, we're going to be tackling another 12-hour build challenge. Let's go ahead and get started. In a slate of cool castle factions, Raven Knights won the poll with a landslide. It wasn't even close. I wonder if I'll ever get my favorite Lion Knights to win a poll and therefore appear in a build. We'll see. All that said, I'm excited to work on a mock with the Raven Knights. I don't think I've actually included them in a full-fledged build before. I've puttered with some figures here and there, but having them in a nice mock of their own will be pretty cool. Let's go ahead and sketch it out as usual. We're going to try something different with this build. It's hopefully going to fit on a single square base plate instead of having an irregular round landscape to start. This will be a lot smaller than what we've done in the past, but that's also really the point. I want to kind of condense and consolidate this creation, and hopefully we can get this build to go more vertical instead of horizontal. I think it'll actually be a nice change of pace. This square shape will also really help with building a moat or a ditch in front of the castle fortifications. I really want to construct a functional battering ram that's going to be hopefully over here on the left. Somehow I want the attackers to have crossed the moat either through a bridge or filling in a portion of this ditch. Want a tower at the back corner and a broken wall over on the right. We're going to have a defending army trying to protect the breach in the wall, and we'll hopefully have all the Raven Knights outside charging in to try and take the castle. I think this is a pretty solid idea to go off of. It's pretty simple, but I think if we do all these elements very well, it should be a great creation. Let's get started. Hello everyone, we're less than an hour into the build. We already got a nice little bit of terrain starting to form. We've got the beginnings of a moat here, or a ditch, and we're starting to also show where it's being filled up with earth and dirt in order to cross. I've decided to go for a big pile of dirt approach to filling in that ditch versus trying to bridge it over with a temporary bridge for the assailants. But liking the gradient happening over here and moving around the outside edge of the build. Going to cover this with some green, maybe some patches of tan and brown as well. It's been a little bit battle torn. The terrain should be a little bit stepped on. Lots of troops moving around trying to get into this castle. I think we have just enough room for a wall and a tower in this section here moving that direction. And still have plenty of tan brick to fill in the inside, and just enough black bricks to cover this area too. Tron didn't use all of them. We still have a few left over, so that's good. Working with reddish brown and dark brown has its dangers. I've already broken a few, including this one here. So trying to be gentle, but life happens, and so does death. But yeah, moving on, let's go ahead and try and finish this landscape off nicely, have nice spots to build our various elements we want to complete the build. Update number 2. We've got the terrain pretty much finished up. This big block of a slice of life, a slice of a castle siege here, pretty much constructed as we wanted. We've started to build up these kind of gleaming white walls here. Gonna have a nice, interesting color for a castle. It's very bright right now. Hopefully it starts to make sense. We'll see. You've got quite a bit of texture added on this side of the wall over here. This was originally finished off like here, but then I remembered I wanted to have the foundations of the castle be very deep into the ground, not just right on the grass level. Obviously, they would make sure that's very secure and you can't dig underneath it. So yeah, wanted to make sure that if you're having a cutaway, make it realistic. Also have a bit of debris here in the middle of the wall, and we're gonna have a lot more debris out on front and kind of imagining it in the back. So hopefully it looks like this material that was knocked out of this wall will be all over the battlefield here. Have plenty of room for a battering ram over here on the left like we wanted. Got the foundations of a tower in the back. And the one issue with this thing I think we have so far is this moat is a little bit deeper running back than I think we wanted in our sketch. But I think it could have honestly been about 3 or 4 bricks forward to have more room and have this break area more centered in this wall section. We got a little bit of a empty white space here. I think there's one solution though. We could have a ladder going from the ground right here up to the top of the wall and have people climbing on it. And so you have battle here, guys running here, guys shooting from up there. So if it makes sense compositionally, we can throw a few ladders up there and have some people falling into the moat. It would be pretty fun. So lots of potential, but still keeping it really simple and contained. Hopefully this build works out well. It's around 1:35. We're doing pretty good on time. We have about 9 hours left, a little bit more than 9 hours left, according to my timer. So yeah, we're still doing all right on time. Hopefully we can get a nice build done in one day and not have to go days over time like we have in a couple of the previous videos like Warhammer and the Samurai Mock. So I think we could do it. Let's go ahead and get it done. Time for another quick update on the build. The landscape is about where we left it. We actually think we filled out a few more brown plates to give it a little more texture. The wall is pretty much as it needs to be. You've got detail all the way around. It's a little more plain on the back, of course, but you can see that textural detail on the side, the top. You've got spots for the minifigures to stand in case the ladders do reach the battlements up there. You've got more debris here in the breach area, so it looks a little bit more realistic. Probably going to add a few more chunks here and there because if all the volume fell down, it would be more than that. So we'll see if we can add more chunks, spread it out a little bit. That should hopefully make sense. Up here, we've got a tower right in the back corner of the build. We've got a doorway that works. You got a ladder going up to the next story. You've got a little arrow slit on the front. Very similar to the one we used for the Wolfpack Castle a few episodes ago, but a little bit different. You got the ingot piece instead of the double cheese slope, so it works pretty well in there. We're gonna go just a little bit taller, and then we'll have a wooden kind of exterior fortification assembled on the top of it. I'm gonna have to look at some examples from siege battles for square towers, because I've seen them for more rounded towers, but Square is a little bit different, so we're gonna have a look at that. But some reddish brown gonna be used again, some more breaking pieces, but oh well. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the scene so far. We're doing pretty good on time. It's about 3 p.m. We've got about 7 hours and about 30, 45 minutes left. So plenty of time to build a really nice battering ram. I think a siege ladder would make a lot of sense on the right here. Nice fortifications on top of the tower with some fire on it, so it's caught on fire. There's some battling going on, lots of figures trying to get into the breach. Should be a lot of fun. So this is turning out very well. Let's get the rest of it done. Well, here we have a completed medieval siege battle scene. We got all the figures set up, the battering ram, the mantlet, the siege ladder, the tower with the flames on top. It's exactly like we wanted in our sketch. I really like a number of aspects of this build a lot. It's all super simple techniques, but just building with castle again just brings me so much joy. Keeping the overall idea more condensed really helped out our time and the build process in general. It is now just before 7 p.m. here, and we still have plenty of time to go, about roughly 4 hours left. So this is a big success as far as the scheduling is concerned. So I'm really happy to have completed a build with plenty of time to spare and not too exhausted at the end of it. Members of the channel will recognize these figures. I actually built all the minifigures you see in the scene in advance, just in case the castle ended up taking longer than expected. But it took me maybe 45 minutes to an hour to build all of them. So, I mean, we still had plenty of hours to spare, even if that had been done today. Despite the successes we've had with this build, I think there are a number of issues that I think really can't be solved easily. And most of those are going to be more apparent on the photography side of things. One thing is the reddish brown and the bronze tiles especially are way more reflective than I thought they would be. And this is kind of the primary viewing angle. It's not supposed to be seen from other angles as much. And that is casting a lot of glare, way more than I expected it to. The other thing is, while I love the color of the wall, the white wall and tower, I think that's probably more historically accurate, but it is causing a lot of problems with the lighting. The white balance is kind of freaking out because there's so much white in the scene. It also means I have to change my background to gray instead of white so you can actually see it. And that's also making the lighting a little more warm than usual. So a number of things making this extremely tricky to photograph. Not to mention the huge chunks of black on the bottom. You have to be careful for the mirror effect. So a number of things learned with this creation for sure. First of all, condensing the build makes it an easier build time overall. And secondly, be careful what colors you're using and even what textures, because they could cause it to be difficult to photograph. I'm still quite pleased with this build, and I think it'll also look really good at conventions when all those photography-related issues go away. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and all that jazz. It really helps the algorithm. And if this video does well, I'll have to build more Lego castle scenes, which I will not be complaining about at all. A big thank you to all the members who support the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.